Welcome to CricketNews.com's coverage of the IPL 2020, and in today's video we'll be talking about the Kings from Punjab. The first team we profiled, of course, were the Royal Challengers from Bengaluru, and we now move further upwards towards Punjab. And the one thing that's common between these two teams is, of course, the lack of stability. Bangalore, in their own way, while of course they maintained a core for all along, but the results didn't follow. But for Punjab, it's a different story altogether, isn't it? And the simple fact that they've had 11 captains in all of these seasons proves a thing or two, doesn't it? You had Ravichandran Ashwin in the last season. It looked like he's going to be around for a while, but it did not really work out. Ashwin's moved on to Delhi, and now comes in a young Turk who has shown tremendous promise and has actually gone beyond that point of showing promise and has delivered for India, has delivered for Punjab as well at the IPL stage, and now the captaincy is on to KL Rahul. And with KL Rahul, there's another show of intent from Kings 11 Punjab in getting fellow Karnataka legend, if you'd like, in Anil Kumble. They've moved in that direction towards getting KL Rahul, gotten Anil Kumble, and what do from there? They go to the auction table with purpose, and they go and show more intent by getting Glenn Maxwell, Sheldon Cottrell, two big signings, two superstars from the T20 arena in today's times. But what they've also done is they've built a team around these people as well by getting the likes of Ishant Poral, by getting the likes of Ravi Bishnoi and a couple of local Punjabi talent as well. So a lot of intent is being shown in Punjab's ranks. But now the big question, what does the captain do from here? KL Rahul is undoubtedly India's rising shining star. He's performed incredibly well, as we've spoken before, at the international stage and at the IPL, and now he has the chance to prove his pedigree as captain. But how many hats does he don is the question. He's kept wickets for Punjab last year, he's kept wickets for India. Now the whole conversation about Rishabh Pant or KL Rahul is not something we'll go into over here, but will he keep wickets again for Punjab this season? Or will he pass on that responsibility to Pooran, who's a part of this Punjab side? However, in my opinion, there is no place for Nicholas Pooran yet, despite him being in good form, because of the presence of undoubtedly the biggest superstar in T20 cricket, in Christopher Henry Gale. Now, that's where Kings 11 Punjab are at. Now let's take a look at the ideal 11 that Punjab could go through, and that could give you a brief idea of what I'm talking about. I think we've seen in Punjab's videos on social media, etc., that Gale and Rahul have been batting together. It seems like Gale has come in with that intent to play this IPL with all his might and give his best for Punjab. He's stayed away from the CPL as well, and now Gale's in the UAE working it out with Punjab, trying to give his best. So I'd like to think that Gale will be given the go early on, with Pooran in the background silently waiting for Gale, the senior, to slip up and the young Pooran to go in. So I think Gale and Rahul open the batting. In comes Mayank Agarwal, again progressed immensely in the last year and a half and will be an integral part with all the growth that he's gone through for this Punjab side. And then obviously after Mayank Agarwal, you go with Mandi or you go with Karun Nair, and then comes Maxwell at 5. You have Sarfaraz at 6, and then at 7 is the tricky one. I'm going with Deepak Hooda. He's done it in the past for Sunrisers Hyderabad, and I think I'm going to back him to do it again. Krishnappa Gautam comes in next, and then you either play Chris Jordan or you play Jimmy Neesham. I am a big Jimmy Neesham fan, and I think he's someone who's delivered great value to the teams that he's been with in the past. So I'd go with Neesham, but you would understand if Punjab go with Jordan because he's been playing with England lately, and I think form would be a crucial factor, whereas New Zealand have not played a lot of competitive cricket. And then of course Mujib just walks into the team. Mujibur Rahman would walk into any franchise at the moment because of where he is at this point of his career. delivering value to every T20 franchise he plays at. And then of course I think Ravi Bishnoi picks himself in with that leg spinning option. Remember Anil Kumble as the head coach. Ravi Bishnoi will benefit immensely from this exposure, and I think he's done a good amount of work in the under-19 setup to earn this role. And last but not the least is Mohammad Shami. You'd like to think that this is a decent enough squad, but they also have options on the bench. You have Ishan Porel, you have Murugan Ashwin, you have Hardisvi Owen, you have Tajinder Singh again, a young Punjabi batsman, hard-hitting, has been a part of the Mumbai Indians before as well, and he's someone that Punjab have picked up. And we have Jagdish Suchit as well. So all in all, a team that has incredible amount of options on the bench, both in the foreign contingent and also with the Indian players. And I'd repeat this and I'd say it again, it all depends on how KL Rahul goes about his business as captain and as, of course, the top of the order batsman. So Rahul to set the trend, and of course how well they come together as a team will determine Punjab's fate in the tournament.